Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. You either go with it or you don't. The movie begins with a young Abraham Lincoln witnessing his mother being murdered, and once he is old enough, he goes after the perpetrator, Jack Bartz, only to find out that he is a vampire. He is rescued by a man named Henry Sturgis, who informs Abe that vampires are real and trains him to become a hunter. What started as a way for him to seek revenge leads Abe down a path to fight for justice. The movie is based off of the 2010 novel of the same name, written by Seth Grahame-Smith. In fact, the book wasn't even officially published before the film rights were already purchased by Tim Burton, Timur Bekmambetov, and Jim Lemley. The three of them had just produced the animated movie 9 and were looking for a new project. When talking about the project, Tim Burton and Jim Lemley noticed that Timur was very passionate about it, and they figured he was the right person to direct it. And the author, Seth Grahame-Smith, was hired to write the screenplay. Despite being written by Grahame-Smith, the movie and the book are very different. While the novel follows Abe's entire life very closely and finds moments to put in the vampire elements, the movie is very much more focused on Abe Lincoln fighting vampires, and then finds ways to incorporate real moments of history. It's not full horror. It's more action with scary scenes. But the action scenes are amazing, and the effects are pretty impressive to look at, especially the look of the vampires. There's an overall blue tint to a lot of the night sequences that give the whole movie a creepy atmosphere. The biggest problem with the movie is the editing. Some scenes feel like they were either rushed or just made up on the spot. Some of the audio sounds out of sync, and the continuity is just way off. Things established in the beginning are ignored for the sake of a fight scene or a gag, and it creates pretty big plot holes throughout the whole movie. Now, when I heard this movie was being made, I got very excited, and I started reading the book. And also remember, this came out the same summer as The Avengers and The Dark Knight Rises, and those big summer movies. But this one was my most highly anticipated movie of the summer. I was super excited, and when I saw it, I was a little disappointed, mainly because it wasn't like the book. I was 15, I was becoming a snobby film nerd, as one does, and even though there were parts of the movie that I liked, that I thought were cool, I felt like it was still a bad movie, and I shouldn't like it. That same year, I was also starting to get into the Hammer movies, and mainly the Dracula movies. They also took the title of a book, maybe the same premise, but told a different story. And watching those movies, it suddenly clicked. Maybe that's what Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was trying to do. Not necessarily be an homage to the Hammer movies, but it was in a very similar vein. That it wasn't trying to be an adaptation, just trying to be an interpretation. Perhaps Grahame-Smith took this as an opportunity to tell a different version of that story, one that is a little bit more direct. So I gave the movie another watch, and I definitely came out feeling more positive about it, because there's still a lot of good things in the movie, like the cast. Benjamin Walker is fantastic as Abraham Lincoln, playing him from a young naive man to an old wise leader. He looks the part, sounds the part. By the end of the movie, you believe he really is Abraham Lincoln. Dominic Cooper, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Anthony Mackie, and Jimmy Simpson are all in the movie playing important roles in Abe's life. Rufus Sewell plays the main villain, Adam, a vampire leader, and though his dialogue may sound a bit cliche, Sewell makes it sound so believable. He's both evil and diplomatic at the same time. What I also admire about this movie is that despite its absurd premise, it plays it straight. It doesn't stop to wink at the audience. The filmmakers aren't trying to make a movie that's so bad it's good. They are making an honest attempt at telling a story about Abraham Lincoln killing vampires. And it's so genuine, and it's so fun to watch. And personally speaking, it is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter from 2012.